What up guys, welcome back. We're halfway through this build and I'm really excited to put this kit all together and show you the final view. Thanks so much for sticking with me so far. From the last episode, we added clear, but I'm not completely done yet. In this video, I'm going to get the wet sand, the last layer of clear, and smooth it out any orange peel rough bumps in the clear. Let's get it. I'm using micromesh sanding cloths for gloss because it produces a very fine scratch pattern that's pretty much invisible to the human eye. A micromesh can polish to a high reflective state or leave a matte or satin finish depending on where you stop. Normal sanding paper like 320 and 400 I only recommend for body work and body prep. Leave the micromesh to polish the clears only. You can get this micromesh kit I have on Amazon. I will leave a link below in the description box. I highly recommend you pick one up and have in your polishing kits. They start at 1800, 15, 32, and all the way down to 12,000 grit, which will leave your paint super smooth. But right now I'm only using 15, 32, 36, 24, 4,000, and that's only to remove one layer of clear coat. So be very light with it, not too rough, and don't go all the way through. Remember, we're just removing one layer of clear. Spend about, I would say, 7 to 8 minutes with each grade and move on to the next until you reach your desired results. So what I did here is I got a small plastic container, fill it up with a teaspoon of mild dishwashing soap, nothing too harsh, not too much, just a little, and wet the micromesh, damp it into the water, and then apply it to your body. Now you don't have to add too much water. You don't have to dip the whole body into the container or a container with water and soap. All you need is just a little bit just to get it going, get the soap going, and pretty much that will remove any grime or grit anywhere on the body itself. Now the body already looks super glossy, but like I said, there's sometimes some bumps do come out in the first layers of clear coat. And sometimes I'm just not too happy with it. So basically that's what you do here. You just kind of fix all those imperfections, any bumps, any rough bumps, maybe some you had a run on with your clear coat on the body. You go ahead and do that and remove it here. And when you're using micromesh cloths, just go ahead and sand very lightly, and then move all the way around your body. Don't stay in just in one position, and you don't want to take too long. Just once you're sanding, and just get a little feel for it and see where you're at. And if it feels smooth enough for you, and it feels like you're getting pretty much it's making it really smooth and thin, then you're getting somewhere. So then you start moving on to the next step. Now you don't want to go all the way through, because you will sand away through the paint, and that's something that you don't want. Now some people like to use these microcloths, like they like to use every grade in the kit. They start up from 1800 all the way down to 1200, and that's cool. And basically what they do is then they polish it up after using all the steps. I've learned from my experience is that I do that in between my clear coats, and then I top it off with one more layer of clear. And then I polish it. So I don't really do any sanding at the end to polish it up. To me, it's worked out beautifully. It's not really necessary, and I get a really good high gloss shine. So the gloss is a couple of steps. You have to add some to remove some, and then add another layer. I know it's a lot of work, but trust me, in the end, it's gonna look so great, so beautiful. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna thank yourself for it. The good thing about this micro cloth is that you can actually bend really easily, and you can get into these cracks that hard to reach areas. So in between the rear quarter panel, it was, normal sandpaper, you kind of have to bend it and fold it really bad. With this, it's very flexible and it bends really easy, and it doesn't tear. And you can still get a good sand in between those hard to reach cracks. These microcloths are reusable. They're not for a 1 or 2 time use and then they're done. Basically, that's the beauty of it, being a cloth that it lasts for a very long time. So it's very durable and it won't crack on you or tear. This kit I've had, it pretty much lasts for a long time, maybe up to a year. With this, I sand plenty of bodies, so you don't have to worry about keep buying more of these. I know with the regular sanding paper, it kind of fades away quick because it's doing a very heavy duty type of job. This is more of a light type version of a sanding procedure. So this will definitely last for a very long time for you, so you don't always have to buy this kit. Now I'm starting to see some progress here. It's starting to get very smooth. I'm almost down to the very last sanding microcloth. So it's looking pretty good for me, and it's starting to shape up pretty nice. So I'm gonna use 3200 here. This will smooth everything out, and it's gonna look really good. And in between your grades, just remember to keep damping them with the water and the soap, and just keep reapplying it. Don't let it run dry. I always like to keep it nice and wet. And then once you're all done, take it to the to your bathtub sink or whatever, and just clean it up all up again with some more soap, and then just go ahead and dry it up and leave it drying until you're ready to add your next clear. Okay, so it's starting to look pretty good to me. Now it's time to add the last and final clear. Now I'm using my pipettes just to transfer the clear over to my little mixing cups. My clear is a 4-to-1, like I said before. There's a lot of clears who are different. So there's some that are 2-1, there's some that are 3-to-1. So just make sure whatever kind of clear you get, and follow the directions, the manufacturer's recommended directions for it. And mine says mix it 4 parts clear and 1 part of the activator. So my little mixing cups, when I do clear, I usually fill it up all the way up to 20 milliliters of clear. That's what I use. And for my activator, it's only 1 part, so I'm just going to use right around about 5 milliliters. I highly recommend you get these Tamiya paint jars. They're only about $2 a piece, and they hold my clears really well. I've used many other different types of jars, and for some reason this clear is really highly toxic, and whatever chemical that's in there, it will burn through the cap. It will eat it right up if it's really cheap. But the Tamiya paint jars have actually outlasted the clear, and it's very durable, and it doesn't eat it up, so that's a good thing. Just go ahead and add your activator to your gloss once you're ready. You get your airbrush ready and give it a good mix. I mix it for probably like 30 to 60 seconds. Now, if you can see my body to the left, it looks pretty matte. I pretty much erased the last layer of clear on there. There's still clear in there in the bottom, but the top layer is pretty smooth. Now you can polish it up, but the only thing is that I've noticed is that I've done that before, and I still see some swirls or maybe some light little scuffs. And maybe it's invisible to some people, but for me, like I could kind of see it. I have really good eyesight, so I don't really like that. So what I do is I just add another layer of clear, brand new. Shooting at about 35 pounds of pressure on my compressor, and I usually like to keep it at this way because it gives me a nice heavy flow, and it's not too slow, and it comes out just evenly, so it's a perfect pressure. Try it. Oh man, it's already starting to look so good and so wet. Look at that. That looks amazing. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, for my weekly uploads. On the next video, when all the drying is complete, I'm going to put the suspension together, probably figure out the wheel color of choice to match the paint, and probably get some interior work done. Stay tuned. Laters, guys.